Hi, how are you doing? Today, the topic of today is UFOs. We're going to talk about extraterrestrial beings. Firstly, I want to convey that one of the most mysterious issues uh, of the world is the UFO is the UFO or the extraterrestrials issue. I like to start by saying that I do believe in UFOs and extraterrestrials. Extraterrestrials, indeed. I've seen at least two. I've I've had two UFO experiences. Once, the first experience I had is when I was a teenager in my youth, in my earliest days. I just I just saw a UFO. I was in my house. I was outside of the house. I was on the roof of the house, and it was. I recall that it was late. It was after midday, and there it was. A UFO came to me, and it was very close to me, and I could clearly see it. The UFO wasn't very big at all. Indeed, it was a bit small, I would say. It was a bit small, and thereby it was a good experience, and I enjoyed it. I recall that the part of the spaceship, I mean the upper side of the UFO or of the spaceship was crystal clear. It was transparent, and I recall it. I recall that I had the feeling that the people they were observing me. I did have this time. I faced maybe about 2 weeks ago. I was walking in the street, and I saw a spacecraft, and very low, and it was very similar than the first UFO I saw in my life. Yeah. The one of the details I clearly recall or remember is that this UFO didn't spread any sound. You couldn't hear any sound, or didn't produce any sound at all. And another issue or thing I recall perfectly well is that it stopped, and I think it hit, and yeah, and yeah, I was very impressed. Now I'm going to tell a story. It happened 5 years ago, more or less, or maybe 6 years ago. A mysterious person called to privately, private. That means that I couldn't see who I couldn't know who was who he was calling me, or the person who was calling me. And I recall perfectly well that he was asking me, insisting me, giving on asking me questions. He was keeping on asking me questions about UFOs, about if I solved anything regarding issues, and I convinced him. I talked to him about the Manises case, which is worldwide famous, and it happens that a UFO was seen, and a UFO persisted, or yeah, uh, 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 a plane, and they had to land, and it landed in port of Soya, and he was very fascinated, and he decided to come to go to Soya, to Port of Soya and Soya, and yeah, he told me that he would call me. We would meet, but we didn't meet. Then 5 years. Then after the pandemic, I mean, in January of this year, 2020, they, he phone called me again, and he told me that all this pandemic was only an experiment, and it was something behind curtains, and it's the following thing I'm going to tell, which is that there will be an alien invasion, and right now I didn't know what to say, because everything is very strange, and politicians are acting very strangely. And this is not only, isn't it, very suspicious, but it's very inconvenient. It's very strange and weird. I mean, now we've lost tons of rights because of the pandemic, and they're trying to do illegal things, at least in my country, which is Spain, and they locked us down, and this is totally illegal. But politicians didn't care, even when knowing that the lockdown was totally illegal in this situation. I mean, they did do it. That means that they do not really care about our. They don't really care about society at all. Well, indeed, or in fact, they've never cared about citizens. They only care about themselves, and they're very, very comfortable with this situation. And to tell you the truth, this, which is called David Palomeque, alias the best person of the world, which is the same thing for me. This thing happens to me, or this thing happened to me, if you like. Yeah, he's supposed to be a UFO investigator. It's about time to the UFO issue, the extraterrestrials. UFO is very, to tell you the truth, the possibility of not having more planets, more life or living planets is very only in our galaxy, which is the Milky Way. It has billions of planets, and there are 5 billion galaxies around the universe, and every galaxy has billions of planets, thereby the possibility to to find life, or that life exists in certain planets, is the highest possibly the highest one. And yeah, I like it. It's my dream that one day life outside of the planet of the planet Earth. And something is very long, something is very strange. I have to say the truth. Something is something very strange is happening. And the only thing I can think of is about this thing. And yeah, this mysterious man. Coming back to the subject of this mysterious man who's calling me, he's calling me on a regular basis. Yeah, maybe once a week or twice a week. It depends on the week. And we have long conversations. I've been asking him tons of questions, and he declared to me, or he stated that there are. I mean, he's an extraterrestrial. Do you think it's possible that I've got contact? I've been contacted uh, by extraterrestrials, or by UFOs, or by aliens? Do you think it's possible, or do you think it's not possible at all? I'd like you to tell me what you think about it. Yeah, there are so many cases where UFOs and aliens have been seen. Well, there are so many cases in which tons of citizens have claimed to have been contacted or to have experienced alien sites, alien contacts. It's very strange. For instance, there's an area in Arizona, I think, which is called Area 51, in which the army, the USA Army, is working there in a secret uh, basement, and we can't know what is going on over there, since anyone can trespass the lines of or the limits of this Area 51, and if someone dares to trespass it, they're going to be shot and be killed. So the question is, what is it so important over there that it can't see the lights, it can't be known by the world? For me, it's crystal clear. There are many theories about it, and there are many alien theorists who say that the thing that it's happening is that they're having contact, or they having contact with aliens, and thereby it's very suspicious for me, at least, to say the least. Yeah, if I had to bet, I'd say that it's totally true. And yeah, coming back to the mysterious person who's calling me on a regular basis, he's a very motivated person. He could be what's called now this person who motivates you in order to be successful. I don't know, coach. It could be a motivational coach. Motivational coach. And it would be beautiful to see what I'm saying. I mean, it would be beautiful to expect another issue. And I expect it to see another things. I like it that one day Yeah, it's very motivating. His claims that he's going to pick me up and I'll be with him. But I'm still waiting. After 8 months, here I am. I've never seen him, and I'm starting to doubt, seriously doubt, that he is there. All right, and but there's a mysterious thing about it. This person is very mysterious. For example, I try to contact. I contact him with him telepathically, and he's saying when he calls me, he's saying that I'm calling him all the time. And I cannot call him by phone because I don't know his number. But I'm trying to, and I'm getting it. I'm calling him telepathically, and he's receiving my telepathic messages. And this is very serious, isn't it? How many? Another thing is think that I could contact with a person telepathically speaking. How come? I mean, it's not something that I've I've been instructed to something. It's something that happens to me naturally, and yeah, it's very strange for me. I'm telepathically. That's fun and it's stimulating and loving. No, but it's beautiful. It's cool, and yeah, this is what I wanted to convey. Aliens. Yeah. Do you think that aliens exist? I do think so. Either didn't exist, I'd be very, but very, very, very disappointed. If someday it's confirmed that aliens cannot exist, I'd be very disappointed. However, this will never happen. But the thing that can happen uh, is that aliens can. I mean, sometime one day we're going to know for good whether there are aliens or there are not. And I don't know what else to say. Yeah. I'm going to tell you my feelings towards the person who's calling me on a regular basis. I do expect his new call, and I do expect him to call me, phone call me, and to do something else. Not only to talk, but to meet, to get to meet him in person, to say, maybe it's enough, isn't it? But it's okay for me.